All right, goddamn ex-girlfriend. Dear Billy Boy, your podcast is killer, man. Thanks. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And he says, I'm writing you to get some insight on my ex-girlfriend's situation. About 6 months ago, my ex dumped my ass and totally crushed my heart. That's the worst. You got to go through it, though. He says, I was fucked up for a while, but took some of your advice and focused on improving my own shit. I never called her, texted her, or did any asshole for 6 months. A couple of months ago, she texted me. Fucking, I knew it. I knew it. Now, without reading this thing, she's texted you. Now, either she legitimately wants to get back together with you, which if you still love her, that would be a good thing, or whatever the fuck whatever life path she went down over the last 6 months has hit a bump in the road, and maybe she's having second thoughts, or maybe she's completely evil, and she's like, wow, he just never called me again. Why don't I call him up and mind fuck him? Those are my 3 guesses on the cunt genie lamp there. All right, so she texted me. She wanted to know what I've been up to and how I was doing. She also wanted to know why I unfriended her on Facebook. And he writes, why do you think, you dumb cunt? Now, wait a minute. Did you unfriend her because of my advice, or did you do that on your own? That's a great thing. You got to cut the cancer out. You can't be watching what the fuck she's doing. All you're doing is prolonging that pain in your heart. You got to, I'm telling you, you got to cut off all contact, and then you got to go Chris Bosch, where you just got to drop to your knees a couple times a day and cry it out. Don't be afraid to fucking do that. Now, I wouldn't do it in front of a bunch of men, but, do it on your own. Like, as a man, you have to understand that the reason why you're able to cry is because you're supposed to. Because if you don't, you keep it in your chest, and it becomes anger, and then you yell at your kids. All right, I resisted the urge to tell her to go fuck herself and kept my responses cool and casual. Dude, you are on the road to a post-breakup blowjob. That's where you are right now. Let's see if you keep the car on the road. Here is my question. How the fuck do broads know when you are finally getting over them and that they should get a hold of you and make you feel like shit again? Also, I knew it. Also, do you think it's a dick move to get a hold of an ex if you're the one who dumped them, when they haven't gotten a hold of you since the breakup? Finally, how do you think I should handle this going forward? Well, you know what? You basically learned one of life's tough lessons. Is that, something? I might be being a dickhead. Like, maybe guys do this shit too. All right? Guys do this shit too. You got those guys who they break up with a girl, but then they keep her in they try to, like, hold on to her so no one else can fuck her. You know, guys who do that shit. So this is really like I'm being a sexist moron as usual. I'm coming from the male perspective. That's all I got. All right? Trying to show a little empathy here. How do they know? I don't know. But they're great at it. So rather than trying to figure it out, because I don't know that you can as a guy, just respect that they have that ability. All right? You might want to consider changing your cell phone number so she can't text/mindfuck you again. They're just the fucking worst. They're just the fucking worst. In that situation, dude, you got to walk away from them, man. So I can't even remember what the fuck you asked me. I'm going through all the breakups I've been through mentally right now. All right, so the first thing you said is, how the fuck do broads know when you're finally over them? I don't know. Change your cell phone number. It's my solution. Also, do you think it's a dick move to get a hold of an ex? If you have no intention of getting back with them, yes, I do. And you have to accept the guilt that you feel that you broke somebody's heart. And you have to own that. You can't, like, call in. Just call in to make sure you're doing okay. You're not helping that other person. If you have no intent, you're giving them a half a second of hope, and then, you're ruining them. You got to let them go. And lastly, how do you think I should handle this going forward? Yeah, I would say don't respond to her texts, or even then, just her texting you and seeing your name and knowing that she's thinking about you, and your heart's still going to be like, well, maybe she wants to get back together. I would just change your number. Start over again. Go Bill Bixby. Get a backpack. Walk out of town. Go down the fucking street. Start working out. Get some new women in your life. That's another thing. Go out there. Go hit on something you think's out of your league. Who gives a shit? Go have a good time. Hitting on a girl that's so-called out of your league is like playing a sport against people who are better than you. It makes you better. It ups your game. All right? So then when you play against somebody who's only a little out of your league, you're used to playing beyond, and you're not nervous. You're used to that speed. You know? Does that make any fucking sense? I hope it does.
Hang on.
All right, dear Bill, I need some advice. I'm 30 years old, and I've been seeing this lady for the past 4 months, and things have gotten pretty serious. I'm already having dinner at her parents' house frequently. Oh, Jesus. Going to her family parties. Oh, Jesus. And spending the holidays together. Jesus Christ. I'm practically part of the family already. To use her father's words, and to be honest, I'm cool with it. I love this girl. She's great. All right, so what's the problem? So great, in fact, we decided to do New Year's in Palm Beach together at her cousin's place. Now he finally writes, oh, Jesus. All right, now what's going to happen? See, I like some of these letters. They set him up like a great movie. Like, he set this up like this is perfect. This is like a Norman Rockwell painting. Everything's going great. Now all of a sudden, he's going to New Year's in Palm Beach together at a cousin's place. Why?
What could possibly go wrong?
This is very well written. This guy gets a star. Anyway, so we go out the night before New Year's. There's a whole group of us. And I head off to take a piss. I come back and see my girl dancing and making out with some other guy
who
wasn't a member of our group.
Oh.
Well, who gives a shit even if he was a member of the group? It's another guy. I'm obviously flummoxed. This educated son of a bitch. I decided to interrupt their little makeout session on the dance floor. It would have continued unabated if I hadn't stepped in. So I pushed the guy aside, hand her back her purse. Yes, I was carrying her purse for her.
Ouch.
It fit into my back pocket, in case you're wondering. I was wondering. And I leave the bar. The bar is called the Cucina. Yeah, kitchen, right? Right?
I think so.
Yeah. I am a little Spanish right there. I am outside just beside myself with anger, and she doesn't follow me out. I go back to her cousin's place and go to bed. Around 3 a.m., the texts come in. Nothing happened. I didn't do anything, etc. She finally cops to it, and just in her defense, she says, I'm just not used to having a boyfriend, and I don't think you know how drunk I was. So, Happy New Year's.
This was in a text message?
No.
Oh.
No, when she showed up to him, she says to him, she finally just said, look, fine, I fucked the guy. I'm just not used to having a boyfriend, okay?
Wow.
And I don't think you realized how drunk I was.
Wow.
Yes. See? And you can be that honest. You know what I mean? I could never be that honest with you because you could throw a vase at me, and then the cops would arrest me for breaking the vase with my forehead. Anyways, he goes, should I chalk this up to a dumb drunk mistake and patch things up?
No.
I'm having trouble being objective about this. This has really got me fucked up and hurting. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was a ridiculous level of acting out.
Yeah,
on her part.
That's crazy. That is absolutely
that is
crazy.
Some wacky stuff.
That's wacky. That's some real wacky stuff. No, she made out with a guy right in front of you.
He knows.
What are you talking about?
He knows what he's supposed to. He's fucking stunned, Nia.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's pretty stunning.
We're in the goddamn trauma unit right now. And you're going, you stepped on a landmine.
Yeah. Move on, sweetheart. Move on.
No, that is
retain some dignity and and walk away.
You basically just imagine if you discovered that 17 years in, married with 4 kids, that half look like you and half look like this should have been stripper. All right? You dodged a bullet. And yeah, it's gonna hurt, and that's really what that really is, dude. Is aside from your feelings, that's your fucking manhood being hurt right there.
And you don't have to look at it
you know,
objectively.
let me finish, for fuck's sakes. As a guy, that shit's not supposed to happen, right? Because you're supposed to put it on them, and they're supposed to be mesmerized by your dick. And the reality is that's not what it's like.
Yeah.
And when you discover that, that's a tough day.
Yeah, but
You know?
you don't have to look at
and
it
then you
objectively.
never trust those broads again. You never trust them again, and it's the
No.
safest place you can be.
No.
Number 3.
But don't look at it
Shut it
objectively.
last Saturday.
It was a shitty, horrible thing that happened, and you should be feeling all of those feelings, including anger. So, but just walk away. It's over.
That's what he should do, is just walk away. Although,
It's
I would be
over.
tempted to pull a female move and get some revenge, and I would tell her dad, you know, what
Do
he...
you know what a slut you raised?
Do you know what a slut you're in love with? That's half your DNA. Did she get that from your fucking wife? No.
No, yeah, there's
Yeah,
no
don't do
need
that.
to go. There's no need
No,
to
because
insult
then
bring
he'll
the
look
mother
like an
into it.
asshole, and then he'll look like an
Into
asshole,
it.
and then he'll understand why she did it. I'm trying to inflict the most pain here. Walk away.
Yeah.
I don't do revenge. Don't do that shit. All right, number 3. Last Saturday,
Say.
as they say in Boston.
Say.
Come on over and fucking say. There's no consonants in that word.
Say.
Thursday, Friday, say. I always do that with brevity. Say. Last Saturday, I was out with my friends, and I was shit-faced. We were at a bar, and I was sitting at a table when I saw the girl. She was absolutely beautiful. I don't know why, but something told me I had to go up to that girl. See, they always start fucking phenomenally. The sun was out. Jesus was walking on the clouds. She saw me looking at her, and I give her a wink when she smiled at me. Jesus, you went with that? Did you give her the double point too? I then turned to my friends and said loudly, "Give me a fucking pen." Oh, Jesus, is he drunk? Give me a fucking pen. They gave me a pen, and I wrote my number on a napkin and went over to her and her friend. I slapped the napkin. I love this guy. This guy's got. You're wearing a scarf too. This guy's like the most interesting man in the world. Mm-hmm. I love him. He's wrestling a badger in the corner. Hang on a second. Give me a pen. He goes. I slapped the napkin on the table and went to her ear and said, "I don't drink often, but I think you are fucking beautiful," and walked away. What? No, he's hammered. This is fucking hilarious. I totally missed the joke in this. This guy is completely fucking hammered.
Right.
So he's sitting there, head bobbling, winks
I
at
don't
her.
drink often. I think you're fucking beautiful. Okay.
Call this number. It's going to change your life, sweetheart. Oh, I love this guy. So anyways, being shit-faced, I didn't know any better. And I guess I went to the table and put my head... What? I went to the table and put my head was down at that point, according to my friends. She wanted to know what my name was and stuff, so my friends went over and talked to her and talked me up. Before she left, she came up to me, this guy's still in the game here, and told me her and her friends were leaving to go to a different bar. I asked her her name, we talked a little bit, and she left with her friends. I told her, please text me. 3-4 days passed, and I hadn't heard anything. I couldn't get her out of my head. She was seriously the most beautiful girl I had ever seen. Yeah, after drinking a 12-pack of Keystone. And there was something about her. I know I was shit-faced, but I have never felt that way. I looked online for her on Facebook. The other person she was with had gone to high school with. We weren't friends, but we knew each other. I found the girl on her friend list. There we go. I know that is creepy, but I want to message her and tell her I am sorry for being so drunk, but I really want to talk to her. I feel she wouldn't have come up to me before she left, and asked my friends my name if she wasn't somewhat intrigued. I don't think that's creepy. Nowadays, the old school, when I grew up, that's not creepy.
No, it's
I
not
think
creepy.
if you just say, listen, I'm sorry I was so drunk the other night. I really meant what I said, and I'm sure this freaks you out. I don't even say freaking out. Like, I'm not trying to invade your privacy. I just wanted to say I meant those things that I said.
Yeah.
Respectfully yours. Here's my phone number, my address, and
Yeah, and just leave it at that.
and leave it at that. There you go.
No more communication after that, because then you're venturing into weird territory.
All right, what time we got on the podcast here? What am I?
1:02:19.
All right. Well, we're getting close to the end here. We got overrated and underrated. With that, also, I want to remind everybody that Amazon thing's been working out for me. It's a good thing, so I don't have to charge for the podcast. So this is basically what I've been telling people. If you're going to buy something on Amazon, rather than going directly to Amazon.com, go to BillBurr.com, click on podcast, and on the right-hand side, you'll see just under the iTunes link, you'll see the Amazon window. And you just click on that, and I will get credit for driving traffic to Amazon.com. You don't have to hit anything else after that. And I'm not telling you to buy anything. I'm just saying if you're gonna. And you're going to go to Amazon, just please go to BillBurr.com first.
Even if you're just going to
browse.
Even if you're just going to browse for something.
I don't know if it works that way. They got to spend money.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. It's like I'm driving people to a drug dealer. Even if you're just going to look at the cocaine. Can I just sniff it for a second? And then no, they need to make their money.
Sniff it for a second.
Even if you're just going to browse, if you just want to see what they're doing with their website, yeah, that's it. It's a great way to donate to the podcast. And like I said, 10% of all donations will then go on to the Wounded Warriors Project. So you support this podcast, you support the troops. America, that's right. Buy shit you don't need. Support the troops. It's all right there. I text everyone. We drive back, we're back in Austin, and I text everyone over at Joe Rogan's new club, the Comedy Mothership. I was going over there to check that place out, which I already saw, like most of you. I saw the videos on the internet. I was like, my God, this place looks amazing. And I went in there, and I'm not going to even just mince words here. That's the greatest comedy club I've ever been in. And I've been in some great ones. Caroline's. These are the best ones I was in before Joe's. Caroline's, Hilarities in Cleveland. Comics, the one that when it was in the meatpacking district went out of business. Gotham. The Stand. Those were like so nice. You're like, how is this still a comedy club? Because you're used to them being like smaller, holes in the wall or whatever, And I went to the Rogan one, and I don't even know where to begin. All I can tell is when you go in that place, you can tell that every fucking thing on the wall, on the floor, on the ceiling, sight lines, everything in that place was painstakingly gone over to make sure that it was absolutely perfect. And that's what I kept telling Joe. He goes, how do you like the club? And I was like, dude, it is fucking perfect. It's fucking perfect. You have to, like, the colors of the booth, the Mitzi's place, I think that's what it's called, the bar downstairs, the main room, the smaller room. I did sets Saturday and Sunday there in the smaller room, and I love that place. And Harlan Williams, what do you say there, Freckles? He was there in the main room, so I got to see him headline that place. And just the green room, the food, the whole thing was amazing. And I knew that he would have this option. I was like, if a comedian is designing the club, he's going to have the option that you can either deal with the crowd or not deal with the crowd. Meaning, when your set is over, if you want to go out and talk to the crowd, a.k.a. you had a good set. Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you pissed a few people off, and when you go behind the curtain, you just want to stay there, and you can get to the green room without having to deal with anybody. It is fucking amazing. But the coolest thing that combined two huge worlds of mine, stand-up comedy and Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray Vaughan, I guess, played that place when it was called the Ritz back in the day. And that's another thing. It was like a punk club, and he had for wallpaper in the green room all like the actual posters of all of these punk bands, Circle Jerks, Misfits, all of these classic bands. I'm not a big punk band guy. I'm not cool. I was listening to disco, as you heard when I was making fun of the Canadians. But Stevie Ray Vaughan played there in like 1983, and Joe somehow got somebody to find photos of him playing there. And for big Stevie Ray Vaughan fans, it was that time in his career right before he started wearing a cowboy hat on stage, and he had that sort of that not Kango style, I don't know what you call it, like the Brian Johnson style hat that he had when, right from when he was Stevie Ray Vaughan in Triple Threat, and he had a woman in the band before he got with Chris Layton, Tommy Shannon, Double Trouble, before they added Reese. Yeah, kind of into those guys. Anyway, he had these two amazing, like, life-size photos of Stevie Ray Vaughan. And Stevie Ray Vaughan is like one of those artists that I find transcends what he does. Like, he's so good at what he does, even though you don't, like, I tell jokes, I don't play guitar. He's so fucking good at it. It's like I want to get better at what I like. How do I become the Stevie Ray Vaughan of what I'm doing? Which obviously is impossible. I mean, that guy's a once in a century talent. But it does make you dig deeper and try to get better. So to see those pictures, and also just to know that you're in a place that guy played in. Like, I really feel that when you perform in a place like that, like, whatever they did, the magic of it is somewhere there, if you're into that spiritual shit, which I actually am. So I went down there that night. Joe wasn't there, so I had to see him. So I made sure the next night I went down there again to hang out with him. But Adam Ray was down there too, one of my favorites, and I met a couple of comedians there. This guy, William, that was hosting, I never got his last name. He was funny as hell. And then I brought this kid up that I thought was great, named Miles Johnson. Was really funny. Just really, and the club also had open mic night, which is something that went away during my stand-up career. It was how an open mic night was crucial for new comedians, and it was crucial for the comedy clubs to keep, it was like the draft. You had to keep developing new comedians to keep the scene alive. And I always felt that one of the big mistakes that so many comedy clubs did was they stopped having open mic nights, and then it just became like the Dust Bowl, where you just keep farming on the same land until it's just, nothing grows there anymore, So that was another great thing. And it's right on 6th Street, and it's just, 6th Street's a little loud for me in my old ears, but, like, it is, you feel like that excitement of youth and that type of thing coming down the street. So that's another great energy to have in the club. I can't say, like, Joe absolutely fucking picked the perfect venue and crushed it. It's unbelievable. So anyway, so that all happens. That's Saturday. Killer show Friday at College Station. Which, by the way, Chris Layton, drummer for Stevie Ray Vaughan, came out to with one of his buddies. I'm dropping names all over the place. I don't give a fuck. All right, I'm still giddy. So that was Saturday. One of the greatest days on the road I've ever had. And then Sunday, we still get to go to the race. And we showed up, and all the races were great. I would say the best race of the day was the Moto 3 race, which I was so psyched because I haven't seen one of those races since they stopped having them on TV. They do have them on their website, but, like, I get so fucking busy that I only watch the Moto GP. So for those who don't watch the sport, there's Moto 3, Moto 2, and then the top level. And Moto 3 is like 17, 18-year-old future fucking, stars of Moto GP on their way up. And they all get the same engine. They almost look like those cafe racers. And it was this absolutely fucking insane race where this number 5, and I forget the other guy, they kept swapping the lead, and then the lead guy crashed. And he just sort of low-sided it on the like turn 14 or 16 or something like that, somewhere over there. And the dude right behind him, number 5, had to slow down. And in slowing down, he went from second and being on the podium to being like 5th or 6th. And there was only 2 laps to go. And, dude, this guy, I don't know who this kid is, but he raced angry, man. He fucking just went all out, passed 2 guys in one fucking turn, I believe, and worked his way all the way back up to second place again. Crowd was going crazy. And then the next one was Moto 2. And I'm a Joe Roberts fan. I got to root for the Americans here. And he's got the red, white, and blue bike. And he was I think he was in 16th. And he got all the way up to 9th at one point. And I think there was something going on with the bike because he was riding great. But I got to watch him. He ran great. And that was another amazing race. And then the last one, the MotoGP one, was crazy because it was really windy. Like on Saturday it was hot, but on Saturday it was really windy. And like on the first lap, like 3 guys like just fucking wiped out. I don't know what was going on. Like they said something about the tire pressure in the front tire and the wind was just taking these guys out. And like I think like 9 riders went down, not getting bumped or anything, just going into a turn. And the bike just went out from underneath them, I think, with the wind or something like that. I have no idea. But on the first lap, like that guy Fabio Gianantonio, whatever his name is, riding that light blue Ducati, he low-sided and then slid into his own teammate Alex Marquez. Just took him right out. I mean, they couldn't have been more than 4 turns into the fucking race. And $2 million of motorcycles and an entire team were out. I forget who else wiped out. I don't know if it was Jack Miller or something like that. There was so many big names that went down. Of course, is it Pecco or Pekka? Francesco Bagnaia. I don't know how to say his name. He was in first place. The second race in a row, he low-sided and didn't get any goddamn point. He did get to 25, I think, in the sprint race. But I'm totally back into this sport. I had a great time. Alex Rins ended up winning it. And they asked me the night before, they go, hey, do you want to present the trophy? Club Soda called me up. Hey, they want to know if you want to present the trophy. And I'm like, for what? They're like, the guy who wins the MotoGP. I'm like, they want me to do that? Doesn't that like a hot chick does that? They're like, they're asking you. And I always say no to that shit. I'm always like, nah, I'm not going to do that. That's I can barely ride a motorcycle. That's stupid. I shouldn't do that. That's outside my wheelhouse. But I was just like, I'll do that. I don't give a fuck, right? So I show up. The end of the race, they bring me down there. I'm standing behind the fucking podium, and I'm watching, like, these guys as they come in, first, second, and third place guy, and their team's going nuts, and they're all screaming and how psyched they are. I've always seen that on TV, but to see it live, the energy is crazy. On the other side, where I was sitting, I saw them bringing in all the bikes that wiped out on this sad little golf cart that brought it in on a trailer. So fucking funny, man, to see a bike that can go 220 fucking miles an hour getting brought in on a little golf cart, towed in. Dear Bill, I've been watching the Johnny Depp trial, every day on YouTube in the background while working. It's fucking awesome, Bill. Watching someone get caught lying is super underrated. Oh, I heard he is absolutely destroying her. I'm too big a Johnny Depp fan to watch that. I love that guy, and I don't want to hear all this personal details and shit, but from what I've seen, the guy is fucking destroying. And what's great about this is if he really does expose this woman for lying, I'm wondering all of these people that, just accepted her lies about him, if they're going to apologize somehow, because they publicly trashed him. It'd be nice if they then publicly apologized and said, maybe next time we won't jump to conclusions. Anyways, he goes, it's fucking awesome, Bill. Watching someone get caught lying is super underrated. Having someone who has gone on the record as saying one thing and then having proof that the other happened is so fulfilling. On top of all of it, you get Johnny effortlessly throwing that Hollywood charm around the courtroom. I'd love to have it on vinyl. I got to be honest with you. My good buddy Paul Verzi's been watching it. He just keeps calling me up. He goes, are you watching this? He's like, Johnny is absolutely destroying her. I've just heard like bits and pieces of that. It really does amaze me how the pendulum just does not seem to swing the other way. That all of these women's groups that when they see a woman that lies like this, which really hurts their position, because there are women out there that are in a relationship that this woman evidently lied and claimed that she was in when she wasn't. And for someone to go out and lie about it hurts the people that are actually in it. So you'd think that they would cover this, and they would also talk about, like, you know, I remember a guy a long time ago told me, he said, if you're in a relationship with a woman, if she ever starts swinging on you, lock yourself in the bathroom. Lock yourself in the bathroom so, you know, she won't hit you anymore. It doesn't escalate, and there's going to be no evidence of you at some point, because you're going to have to get her off you. You know, she can be, look at this mark in my wrist when he, you know, because you caught her hand as she was swinging at you. You caught her wrist, then you're going to get in trouble. You know, you're wearing a ring, it leaves a mark. You're just fucking done, you know? It's like, no, I just grabbed her arms because she was swinging at me. No, we have to take you in and all of that shit. It just fascinates me that when there's just a clear example of something like this, that I think it really hurts feminism if they want more men to come along, that if they would actually trash someone like this publicly the way that they would go after a toxic guy. Because, you know, I don't matter going after a toxic guy. He's an asshole. I get that. But, you know, I don't know. For someone to be able to do, like, if this really goes in the direction that everything she was saying was absolute bullshit, and the level that this guy's career suffered and the amount of shit that happened to him, if it all just pans out with a whole, oh, yeah, sorry about that, like that's how it's going to end. It just doesn't fucking seem right. And you know what? It doesn't sit well with me. So anyway, if I had the time, I would definitely, I would be watching more of it. I mean, Verzi's losing his mind. Like, he's watching like a 7-game series. He thought it was going to be a 7-game series, but it sounds like Johnny's going to sweep. Which makes me happy. You know, I like that guy. Oh my God. All right, 27-year-old virgin. Jesus Christ. Hey, Billy, I'd love to hear your humorous take on my pathetic situation. First of all, dude, let's work on your self-esteem. All right, you're already shitting all over yourself. All right, watch this guy. Watch him shit all over himself. I'm a 27-year-old virgin. Oh, Jesus. That's what he wrote. Now, your first question is going to be, how the fuck did that happen? Well, to protect myself, I'd actually prefer to keep my background as quiet as possible. Hey, I'm not trying to get you to rat yourself out. Here's what I can say. I come from a rich town inhabited by obnoxious cunts. I was always the weird kid and very socially awkward. People hated me no matter how nice I was. Jesus Christ, dude, are you like a superhero? That's like the exact same background of like every fucking superhero movie, isn't it? It's probably because nerds write those movies. Because they don't know how to fight, and all of a sudden they're like, what if I knew how to fight? What if I could fly? What if there was a guy who could save me? And then they draw it. And then nerds line up around the block to go see it. Dude, you see the new Spider-Man? Yes, it's exactly like the other ones. I was always the weird kid and very socially awkward. People hated me no matter how nice I was, and eventually I came to hate myself and still do. I called it. Dude, I fucking called it. He's shitting all over himself. Eventually, it was discovered that I most likely have a mild case of Asperger's syndrome, which is a mild form of autism, which is way out of my league. Are you guys trying to make me look dumb? I thought I did that. I achieved that by how awful I read out loud. Here we go. That causes social ineptitude and quirky personality traits. Well, I would go find a hooker with Asperger's. That's the first thing I would do. And get the fucking V off my back. Definitely wear a condom. See, that's where my advice is going to be coming from. You guys have some weird conversation in some ironic vehicle. At least discovering this made me more of self-aware, and I've been able to clean up my act over the last few years. But I still have a lot of social anxiety and shyness and very few friends. On the flip side, I'm actually pretty decent looking. I have a decent job in a laboratory. He's a fucking... This guy, he's going to get bit by something radioactive, and he's going to become a superhero. and I'm a certified commercial pilot and do volunteer work. Dude, like, you know something? If I was in the FBI, like, so many fucking red flags just went up there. Okay, that's the setup now. Now for the question. First, what the fuck would you do if you were in my situation? I told you, I'd get a hooker with Asperger's syndrome, and you guys could just bond over that. I don't know. Let me read all your questions. I'm obviously kidding about trying to find a hooker with Asperger's syndrome, all right? You couldn't find one. That would be like needle in a haystack. What you'd have to do is go to an escort service and request that personally. I would think. I'm looking for 36, 24, 36 with Asperger. Hair color does not matter. Yes, I can hold. Next, if eventually I ever do make it anywhere with a chick, should I tell her up front about my status? I had this conversation a few weeks ago with a friend who has a lot of romantic experience, and she said it would be extremely obvious that I'm new to the game and that withholding that information could itself be detrimental. But I also know that if I do tell a chick I'm 27-year-old virgin, she will demand an explanation before going any further, and it will send up red flags for the most. What do you do, Bill? Thanks for doing your awesome podcast, and go fuck yourself. All right, this is what I would do. I would just start hitting on every chick that fucking interests me, and I would be just totally honest. Tell her what your situation is, and if she doesn't accept it, then fuck her. Let her walk, and then you don't have to deal with any of the bullshit. You just fast forwarded through a 3-year fucking horrific relationship. I would just be upfront with people. I wouldn't open it with, "Hey, you have beautiful eyes, and I have Asperger." I wouldn't do that. I would work on my self-esteem. I wouldn't talk shit. You shit on yourself right out of the gate. I mean, obviously, I knew you were going to do that when you said you were a 27-year-old virgin, and you're probably going to go that route. But think good thoughts about yourself, man. I know that's kind of like simple, but you gotta amp yourself up a little bit. Go out there and, you don't have to go find the chick of your dreams, but just go out. You don't got to tell some girl you got fucking Asperger's syndrome. You don't. Why don't you just do that with somebody that you're really interested in? But if you just want to go out and get laid, just go out there, start hitting on chicks, turn it into a game. So you don't have to deal with the pain of the rejection. Just be like, all right, I don't have the balls to take the next step. Whatever that step is, peeling yourself off the fucking wall, striking up a conversation, just saying hello to a pretty girl as she walks down the street. Just try to get over that fucking hurdle and give yourself permission to suck, and you gradually build it up. It's like learning how to play guitar. You're not going to pick it up and immediately be able to play all your songs. You learn a couple of fucking chords, then your fingers hurt, right? And you get frustrated, but you keep coming back, and eventually you can fucking play. Pussy is no different. That's what I would do. Put the Asperger on the back burner. Who knows, dude? Maybe you're not as fucked up as you think you are. Socially. You know what I mean? Maybe you got a sense of humor under there. I think you do. You shit on yourself in a funny way. Spin it around that way. Do you have any interests? Go to a fucking, I don't know, whatever. Do you fly kites? Go to some flying the kite convention. There's got to be some woman there who also likes kites. I know that was an overly simplified thing, but that's what I would do. All right? And then when you go to hook up with somebody, and they, tell them if you start, don't know what you're doing too. Watch a couple of fucking pornos. You'll get the idea. Actually, no, don't do that. Don't do that, because then you'll fucking start slapping them around. Yeah, don't do that. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Buy some books. There you go. Buy some books in that part of the bookstore that, if bookstores exist anymore. Go online. There's got to be plenty of information. I bet if you literally looked up finger banging technique, if you looked how to kiss, I bet there's just going to be reams of fucking information. I've never done that because I never had to. Oh, just kidding. Of course I had to. You think that I didn't wish that fucking information was around? Way back in the day when you had no idea, you just practiced kissing your fucking pillow and tried to overhear conversations in the fucking high school cafeteria and try to figure out what people were talking about. That's all I could do. You have the whole world at your fingertips, So when you're done in the laboratory working with radioactive shit before you get bit by something, why don't you go out and get laid before you learn how to fly? All right? All right. Hey, Bill, this is entitled Afraid to Break Up with Girlfriend. I'm going to read slow so this takes up as much time as possible. Hey, Bill. I'd like to get your advice on something. I've been dating my girlfriend for almost a year now, and I've been thinking about breaking up with her. Well, it's time to break up with her, sir. All right? Been dating her for a year, If you're thinking about breaking it, it's time. Okay? He says, we get along fine, and we rarely argue. I was just thinking of a great way to break up with someone. They should invent like a breakup suit, right? Just something where you just cannot get injured, and you just put the thing on with the fucking helmet. You don't wear the helmet. You just put the onesie zip up on, and which totally protects everything, right? And then you get in the passenger seat, and you let her drive. Now, why are you going to let me drive? Well, you just drive tonight. But you always like to drive. Honey, you just drive. Okay, why are you wearing that suit? It's all going to make sense in about 5 miles, right? You get out on the fucking highway, and you just start talking to her. And out of nowhere, you just put the helmet on. And she says, what are you doing? And just say, listen, I don't want to go out with you anymore. And then she goes, what? And you go, hey, watch this. And you just open the door and you roll out of the fucking car. That's it. You're out. Type up a fake police report. You tell them that you died. Then she feels bad for you. You don't have to deal with any sort of repercussions. Anyways, he says, we get along fine and we rarely argue. But I'm starting to realize I don't really want to be with her for the long haul. When we started dating, this fucking thing. These iPads suck, by the way. All right? You know what an iPad is? It's a fucking laptop for pussies. What's the matter? Your laptop is too heavy, you fucking douchebag? This thing doesn't have a keyboard? It's got nothing. You think that they don't know how to make this thing into a fucking laptop already? Of course they do. This is the Steve Jobs way of doing things. Rather than just giving you the whole fucking thing, he's going to give it to you in increments like a goddamn drug dealer. That's why I haven't bought one of these yet. This is Nia's, by the way. I borrowed this fucking thing. And I am not enjoying it, as you can tell, as I'm throwing a temper tantrum here. When I'm going to buy a fucking iPad? I'm going to buy it when it is a laptop, when it is a little light laptop. Until then, I'm not having this fucking... This is like when you go, I really want to get the new Camaro, and then you get the one with the V6 engine, rather than getting the full-out one with the stick shift, which is a laptop, right? It's too heavy. Fucking do shoulders at the gym next time you do that, okay? Maybe do that. Maybe you do some stuff to build up your wrists. Oh, God, Bill, can you get through the question? All right, I will. He says, when we first started dating, I loved hanging out with her, but I'm just not into her anymore. Does that make me an asshole? No, it doesn't. Why would your own true feelings make you an asshole, sir? How awful were your parents? He says, I'm 23 years old with a somewhat... Why am I... I'm really being a cunt this week. This guy's asking for my advice. Let's try to bring the anger down, Bill. You're frustrated. It's fucking hot in here. You can't open the window because you say cunt too much. This building's a co-op, and they'll kick you out. Okay? That's what's going on here. It has nothing to do with this person, okay? So why don't you just try to be a nice guy? That's what I should have done off the mic, like I'm scolding myself. Just try to be a nice guy. Let's not take out your bad day on everyone else, okay? You're embarrassing me. All right, I'm 23 years old with somewhat of a decent job and really just want to go back to being single for a while. Exactly, dude. You're 23 years old. Dude, you're a fucking movie star at that age. I don't care what you're doing for a living. You should definitely be single. He said the problem is she's got a lot of stress in her life right now. Not your problem. She's finishing nursing school and trying to find a job. All right, we'll tell her to put on the outfit, bang her one more time, and, hey, watch this. You bail out of the car. Oh, that's mean. Anyways, he says, and she has a history of depression. Over the past year, I feel like she's becoming emotionally dependent on me, like I'm keeping her going or something. Well, Jesus Christ, no wonder you want to get rid of her. You don't want this. You want someone that's going to be fun to be around. You don't want her, it's sunny out and she's acting like it's raining out. The fucking head under the pillow. One of these days, you stay with that long enough, one of these days you're just going to he's going to smother her with that pillow. So anyways, so how do I go about breaking up with her while causing the least amount of damage? He said, also, she always leaves some of her shit in my apartment. Yes, because she wants to fucking... Oh, yeah, she's clinging on to you. He says clothes, blanket, other random shit. I try to get her to take her shit home with her, but how do I avoid after breakup coming over to get my stuff? I hate that. Anyway, go fuck yourself. All right. Look. There's no easy way to break up with somebody. All right? There's just easier ways. The sooner the better. I know, dude. This is like dismantling a bomb. So, you know what you would like to do is say, hey, can you come by today? I want to talk to you about something, right? And sure, I'll be right over. And then immediately just take out a box, put all of her shit in it, tape it up, and then she rings the bell. Bing, bong. You open the door. You go, yeah, don't want to date you anymore. And you just hand her the box and close the door, right? Dude, there's money to be made in this, man. Does anybody have a professional breakup service? That's such a pussy thing to do, but that would be phenomenal. You know? You make your person feel like they got fired. You know, like when a corporation fires you and just two security people show up, you know, confiscate your computer and then escort you out of the building. Wouldn't that be great? Dude, that's what you should do. Just hire two of your friends to dress up like security guards. Tell her you want to break up. You know, and then they have all their shit in the box. Escort her right out of your apartment building like she got fired. It'll come off as professional rather than like personal. How do you go about breaking up with it? You know what I would do? I wouldn't put all her shit in the box because that's going to come off cold, you know, and you don't want to hurt her feelings like that. So I would just, oh, fuck it. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Why did I drink last night? And then I got up and did Opie and Anthony. What the fuck is wrong with me? I knew I had a podcast to do. You're embarrassing me. I don't fucking know. Just have her come over and just say, listen, I'm not happy. Oh, that's a great one. That's a classic. You know, like if you were a singer-songwriter, the second you said that, the whole crowd would start applauding, recognizing the big hit. You know? Of all the girls I knew before, you know, they all start fucking clapping. You know, if they just came out, you just did classic breakup monologues. Listen, I'm just not happy. Everyone just that smattering of applause. You wait for it to die down. Let the orchestra come around again. You jump back in on the one. Man, just tell you you're not happy. I'm not happy anymore. And, dude, let me tell you something. Her being depressed is not your fucking problem. All right? Her being depressed is the fucking problem. How can you do this to me? What do you mean, how can I do this to you? You know what would be worse if I fucking stayed with you and I didn't love you? I don't love you anymore. I don't love you, depressed whore. I just called you a whore as a generic term. You know, I'm not happy. I want out. Okay? I just feel like I want to be single right now. I just don't feel like I'm going to be with you in the long haul. We'll just be wasting each other's time. My time is important, and so is yours. All right? I don't want to go anymore. But I'll tell you what. If you go to Stamps.com, they'll give you $55 free stamps and a scale. That's what you do. Just tag every mean thing you say with all the advertising. You know, if you go to Amazon.com through Bill Burr's website, you know, click on the little Amazon banner. Whatever you buy, you know, portion of that money goes back to Bill Burr, and then the percentage of that goes to the Wounded Warriors Project. So I know I'm breaking up with you right now, but we could also support the troops. Right? Sir, look, there's no fucking easy way to do this, and you're going to be sitting there. How many more holidays? How many more birthdays? How many more Christmases, which is a holiday? Sorry, you always need 3 examples. Do you want to go through with this person? How many more times do you want to go out and rent bikes, go to a picnic, sit there on a sunny day as she's sitting there with that cloud over her fucking head? You know? Dude, you know, don't do that to yourself. The amount of fucking people who are just wonderful human beings, and they just end up with assholes. I swear to God, assholes, they look for wonderful human beings because other assholes are not going to put up with them. You know? So you need to be an asshole here. You know, how society looks as an asshole, like you're being selfish. You're not being selfish. All right? Choose yourself. Choose your own fucking life. Dump her and get on with your life. You know, this is what you do. You get yourself a 6 of fucking pale ale or whatever beer you like. You stick a couple of glasses in the fucking freezer. All right? Like anticipation of this championship that you know you're going to win. You know? Like they did in the Red Sox dugout when they had the champagne on ice in Game 6 in 1986 before they had to quickly wheel it out. Okay? Except you're not going to let this one go through your legs, sir. You're kicking this one right in the cunt, and you're taking home the fucking championship. And when it's over, all you got to be just thinking about those frosty fucking brews in the fridge. Just think about that. Just look at the clock when she walks in. All right? Let's say she comes in at 10 past 2. Just say to yourself, worst case scenario, by 3 fucking 30, I'm going to be sitting down on this fucking couch, all right, with my goddamn phone off, drinking a couple of 5 or 6 of these things. And then that's it. All right? And then don't fucking have post-breakup sex. Don't do that, because then she'll think that you're back together again. Fuck all of that. All right, well, I just got to come by and get my stuff. Okay. When do you want to come by? This is coming off really cold. She's going to do all of that and just try to keep dragging you back into the fucking thing. I don't know if this is a punk thing to do, but after you break up with her, just don't answer the phone when she calls. And then she'll finally just say, listen, I gotta come by and get my stuff. Can you text her back? Fuck it, just be a man. What is she going to do? Body slam you? She's just going to make you feel bad. All right? Oh, why'd you break up with me? Is it because I don't blow you enough? No, it's because you're a mopey. You're sucking the life out of me. You know, and when you get that sad look on your face, you look like a Muppet. There, I said it. All right? There's your shit over there in the corner. I got a couple of cool ones in the fridge. So why don't you do me a favor? All right? Get over there, bend down, lift with your knees, get your shit, and get the fuck out of here. What do you say there, Toots? Your Prince Charming is out there somewhere. You know? It ain't here. I'm not riding that horse anymore. Okay? I just shot it in the back of the head. It's over. Okay? So why don't you trudge on out of here there, fucking Cinderella? Go look at a mirror, go climb up in a tower and fucking drop your hair out, whatever the fuck you're supposed to do. Kiss a frog. All right? I got drinking to do. But beat it. Something like that. Like I said, all that bullshit I said, 10 past 2, it's over by 3:30. By 3:30, you're boozing. All right? I don't know. No, they're fucking brutal. Breaking up with somebody's brutal. Not as brutal as the awfulness of this fucking podcast, but other than that. All right, advice from Japan. Bill, I'm 28, single, and I live in Japan. I'm originally from America, and I moved here after college. I'm a translator and speak decent Japanese. Jesus Christ, dude, how the fuck did you learn that? You know, I listen to French, Spanish, like that type of shit, Italian. That seems like, you know, you get a handle on it. But that stuff, how the fuck you jump on that shit is beyond me. How they can go from theirs and be able to speak ours, I swear to God, it's incredible. Anyways, when people ask why I say that I love Japanese people and I love living here, what? Let me get back. I'm a translator and I speak decent Japanese, but the culture barrier is still pretty huge for me. When people ask why, okay, there we go. I say that I love Japanese people and I love living here, but I wouldn't ever want to become Japanese. Generally speaking, they're overworked and unhappy. For better or worse, my attitude keeps me a little isolated. Yeah, I've seen that stuff over there. Like, as far as what I've seen, you know, the propaganda from what I've seen, I saw in 60 Minutes that if you fuck up at your job, they send you to some camp and then you have to sing the company song. And these guys were singing the song, trying to get back in the company. They're like crying and everything. And there's like 4 Japanese dudes just looking at them, just ice cold. Simon Cowells to the fucking 9,000th power. Like your family disowns you. It's crazy. It's hardcore over there, man. Straightening their damn rivers. There is one very Japanese woman. What does that mean? I've met who I recently connected with in spite of all that. She's an amateur artist and actress, and we've worked together to make subtitles for local independent movies. That's how we met, actually. She's interesting as hell and downright sexy, too. Problem, she's married and has a son. Dude, what the fuck? Oh, are you trying to get a fucking samurai sword to your jugular? You're going to fuck a married broad with a kid in a different country? Dude, I don't know anything about the Japanese culture, but if you can lose face for not having enough paper clips at your goddamn desk and get sent to a borderline death camp and you got to sing a fucking song to get back into the company, how much face do you lose if Round Eye fucks your fucking woman? Dude, you're gonna get thrown into one of their straightened rivers. All right. Come on, man. Come on, man. Don't do this. He said from early on, it was obvious that there was a mutual attraction going on, especially whenever we were at a movie party with a couple of drinks in us. Like any guy would, I wanted to sleep with her, but I didn't dwell on it. Good for you. It never seemed like it was in the cards, but we were working together. We kept each other when we were working together, we kept each other at arm's length. Months went by without anything changing. Oh my God, dude. This is like this is like a suspense thriller. Dude, you can't do this. There's a kid involved. That kid loves his mom and his dad. You're going to go in there and your dick, like a samurai sword, is going to slice that kid's life in half. You can't do it. I'm going to read the rest of this with one eye closed. Then came the local film festival. Oh, geez. When it finished, we were downtown and pleasantly drunk. And the last trains that run every night were long gone. Well, isn't that convenient? When she mentioned taking an expensive cab ride home, I suggested that she crash at my nearby apartment until the morning train started. No, you didn't. You didn't suggest that. Your dick did. Your dick's like, relax, stand down, I've got this. Anyways, she had been there a dozen times already because that's where we always worked. Oh, my God, dude, this is like some Red Shoe Diary going on here. I'll cut to the chase. In my apartment that night, she turned to me and asked point blank if I wanted to fuck. Wow, dude, at that point, I think all bets are off. Okay? Because I thought you were kind of seducing this girl. Now she just like... Oh, Jesus. Well, maybe you should have. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Anyways, he goes, and I told her no. Okay. He goes, I wasn't exactly surprised that she asked. Part of me was hoping she would. When she did, though, all I could do was go through what I felt right at that moment. I admit, I really didn't know what to do and was playing it safe. We went to sleep, and she left in the morning. Here's the thing. She and her husband, who I've never met, thank God, don't get along. Oh, she and her husband don't get along and have no sex whatsoever. Oh, so she's in a loveless marriage. Okay. This is what she told me anyway. She has long wanted a divorce but won't do it because of her son. So while saying no might have seemed like the noble, non-homewrecker thing to do, part of me keeps asking, what difference does it make? You know what? You ever see Scarface when the cop goes, it's your tree, Frank. You're sitting in it. All right, that's her fucking situation, dude. She married a guy that she didn't love, and she had a kid. All right? You know, you're stepping into the world of her bad decision. Now, think back when you were a kid, and you thought about meeting the woman of your dreams. Is that the way it went down? I'm not trying to shit on this thing here, but, like, you know, I think she needs to be free and clear if you're actually thinking of getting into a fucking relationship with this person. If you're just thinking about banging her, I don't know, dude. I don't know. The fucking kid. Look, if there was no kid involved, have at it. But there's some kid sitting at home in some racing car bed loving his mom and his dad. I don't know. Do you really want that on your resume? Anyway, he goes, then there's the fact that our friendship suffered anyways, because ever since that night, she's scaled back all the contact with me. They say that affairs never end well, but this isn't ending well either. I don't know. I just feel like maybe I should have fucked her. My few trusted guy friends say they would have. Of course they would have. I would have. I know I would have. If I was drunk and she said that, but the kid, I don't know if I could have blocked out the kid. I am a piece of shit, but I don't think that I'm that big a piece of shit. I'm just being honest. All right? I know there's a lot of ladies that are listening to this thing, but you know how we are. Okay? You lead us around by our fucking dicks. Some fucking hottie you're working with, he's probably already rubbed one out 50 times to her, finally just says, hey, you want to fuck or what? I mean, you're going to do it. Game on. And for any woman who gets mad at me, that's some of the most honest shit about men you're ever going to fucking hear. So go fuck yourself and your email that you send to me. Okay? God bless you. My few trusted guy friends say they would have. Whatever she may sound like, I think a lot of this woman, and I've never had someone like her just throw herself at me before. I'm starting to feel like I missed the boat. Then again, she's fucking married and has a kid. What would have you have done? I told you what I would have done. If she was single, if she was married and didn't have a kid, and she was in this loveless fucking thing, and every day I'm next to her working together, she's in my apartment, comes over smelling good, and I have a couple of fucking drinks in me, and she says, you won't fuck or what? For some reason has a southern accent, I'm all over it. I would have felt like shit immediately. I would have felt guilty, but I'm fucking weak. All right? I'm a guy. I'm a fucking moron. And it would have been the wrong thing to do. So you did the fucking right thing. You did the fucking right thing. Dude, I'll tell you right now. You know what? Go rub one out to her. What do you feel like afterwards? Do you still feel, aren't you kind of relieved? Like, thank God I didn't do it? I don't know. I just feel bad for her. She married the wrong guy. She's got a kid with him. And then she's fucking says, hey, do you want to bang me or what? And you're like, no. And she's got to be walking back going, what the fuck is wrong with my thing? Why isn't my lightsaber working here? I got this power and it's not happening for me. I don't know. I can tell you how to get that train back on the tracks, but I don't want to do that to you. So don't do it, dude. There's a kid involved, okay? Even I have standards. You got to have some sort of standards. All right? Where you just shout your dick back into your pants. Like, hey! I said stand the fuck down! You got to have some sort of something. All right? Look. She's eventually going to leave that guy. She is. But I'm telling you, dude, that's not your fucking... Get the fuck out of there. All right? Get out.